One rule of thumb in the Soil Scout uh, solution and design is that we want to make everything as simple as possible. We don't want to create headache. We don't want to create unnecessary data that makes you confused. So this is one of that. When you open up the Solar Scout Hub, you don't want to see any flat line, and you don't want to see big spikes and pulses. What I mean by that, if you see such graph, means that something is wrong with your soil, specifically your soil health. If you see your salinity is flat, sometimes for many months, and we are seeing it in many different locations, it doesn't mean that you have a very good infiltration. It doesn't mean that you actually leach your extra salinity to the deeper zone, but it actually means that you are going toward the compaction. This is one thing that I wanted to also cover in this webinar. And I'm going to explain more on the salinity, because salinity and bulk conductivity has two different meanings, and it's good to see it together on the Solar Scout Hub. And then same goes here. When you see the graph like this, means something is definitely wrong. This is unwanted in the Solar Scout Hub. So this is the simplification point of view. And I would like to explain more when we say you don't want to see the flat line. Let's connect the flat line to compaction. And this is the good example. Why it's good example? Because as you see, all the three sensors in this golf course, they tried and they have been and they achieved to control the moisture in a very similar manner. It's exceptional. You can see it. But does this mean that we are actually having a good nutrient pickup by the root situation in this golf course? Does this that we are going to have some compaction or not? Salinity can give us this information. So moisture looks good, but when we see the red line is almost flat for a month, first of all, it means that most probably, by high chance, we are not picking up any nutrient if we have used any fertilizer in that golf course for a month. That's first. Second, if this flat line is going to extend for many months, it is clearly gives us the signal that we are going to have a soil compaction. And why is that? Salinity means what? Definitely salinity is not equal to nutrient, but there are something in the nutrient, in the fertilizer, including the nitrate or potassium, that they affect the salinity. They are saline. So when we use them, we should see the spikes, we should see the consumption of the nutrient. This is the healthy consumption, day and night, day and night, day and night in the soil. When we don't see any action, or when we see the graph like that, means something is wrong with the soil. And the reason I say something a lot is that because the soil is very complex. Talking about the soil in the concrete manner, 100% something is unheard of, and I don't think it's appropriate. But the graph simplification easily shows us that go to that point, check whether you have a compaction or not. Check if the nutrient is there or not, which we are able easily to, as a groundkeeper and groundsman, you're expert in that, because by looking at the turf, you are able to see whether they are getting yellowish or not. And not picking up the nutrient gives you the indication that you would like to see. But we are seeing it from the soil point of view. So this is how important to look into your salinity from the compaction point of view and from the nutrient pickup point of view. And then there are some graphs that are directly affecting the health of the soil. And this is a very good example. I'm sure that 100% of you can immediately say, what's this problem? So it's a very good practice. It's a control environment, but that's the whole point. There is a proper irrigation in the blue one, small, constant, and it works with that soil type. At the same time, they are having too much short irrigation, which is the green one representing, and you can see the effect in salinity. It's a crazy spike. It's a huge spike. So any spike, as I said, is unwanted. And you can see it's continually. So basically, soil is give you the feedback every single day. So how to fix this green one? You want to give it less irrigation with the longer time. But at the same time, in the Soil Scout Hub, you can monitor it in the water balance to see if the graph is actually within the green zone and what's the moisture by itself percentage and the rest, and try to adjust it. But basically, this graph tells us stop. I cannot handle it anymore. I mean, just stop it. If you want me to be normal, like the blue one, changing your irrigation timing and duration. So this is very unhealthy, very unwanted. And then we go to this case. So what we see here, um, like the blue and green, let's say from beginning of the graph up to here, which is 26th of April, blue and green are in the same-ish moisture, but you can see the effect of the same moisture to the salinity. By the way, this is a very unhealthy, as we know, but it happens in some region of the world, including the Middle East. But it can be controlled. One practice there is to use as much as water to wash the salinity to the deeper zone. But if you do it more and more and more, technically you're not able to washing it. They are come back up, especially when you have a rain or extra, or let's say much more overwatering throughout the longer time. So the salinity actually brings back, so the whole salinity of the deeper soil bring back to the topsoil, and you're having even more problem. So we don't want to be reactive to the data. We want to see the data. Data is quite simple. It tells us what's the problem and how we can fix it, how we can control it, what to do and what not to do. So it's quite simple. And as we know, the range of the salinity to be healthy is somewhere between, let's say, 0.5 to 3, which is the healthy zone.